Taking you back out to the White House as President Donald Trump is locked in a heated war of words with Democratic Illinois Governor Pritzker over federal intervention in Chicago. It comes as at least 5 people have been killed and 30 others were left wounded in shootings across the Windy City over Labor Day weekend. We want to check in now with Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera. She has more on this story from Washington.
The White House has been putting out numbers almost daily of what they say has been accomplished in D.C. since they began their multi-agency operation on August 7th. They say there have been more than 1,500 arrests, at least 12 of whom are of known gang members. 5 missing children have been found, and more than 150 illegal guns have been seized.
This is about crime. This is about protecting the public. You know, they talk about the shining city on the hill. Well, this shining city on the hill is upside down.
In a new Truth Social post, President Trump repeats his threat that a similar effort will be coming to Chicago if Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker does not quickly straighten things out. The president points to violence that broke out in the Windy City last weekend, where police say 6 people were killed and at least 24 people were shot. But Pritzker remains defiant.
This kind of deployment he's set up in Washington that he says he wants to do in other cities, at least in Washington, is showing potential success. And what I hear you saying is, well, sure, if they show up, it might help us too.
I'm saying we don't want troops on the streets of American cities.
Right.
That's un-American. And frankly, the president of the United States ought to know better. This one doesn't seem to.
Still, Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson is getting ready for the possibility of troop deployments. He signed an executive order that is aimed at stopping the president from deputizing local police. It states that Chicago police can continue to enforce state and local laws, but it will not work with the National Guard or federal agents on patrols, arrests, and immigration enforcement. The order also reaffirms that police wear masks, body cameras, and their official uniforms so they can be clearly identified. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Madeline, thank you for that detailed report. The latest from the commander-in-chief as he declares D.C. a, quote, crime-free zone. He provided this statement on Truth Social. It's cut off at the end, but I will read it in full. President Donald Trump saying, quote, wow, Mayor Muriel Bowser of D.C. has become very popular because she worked with me and my great people in bringing crime down to virtually nothing in D.C. Her statements and actions were positive instead of others like Pritzker, Westmore, Newsom, and the 5% approval rated mayor of Chicago, who spent all of their time trying to justify violent crime instead of working with us to completely eliminate it, which we have done in Washington, D.C., now a crime-free zone. President Trump goes on to say, quote, wouldn't it be nice to say that about Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, and even the crime-drenched city of Baltimore? It can happen, and it can happen fast. Work with us. Mayor Bowser's ratings have gone up in a short period of time, 25%, and the people of D.C. are thanking her for stopping crime wherever she goes. It's not a miracle. It's hard work, courage, and being smart. The top law enforcement officer in L.A. said during the riots and when I sent the troops in early that they couldn't have done it without us. They were completely overwhelmed. If we hadn't gone in early on top of the Palisades plus fires, L.A. would have lost the Olympics. President Trump goes on to say, quote, congratulations to Mayor Muriel Bowser, but don't go woke on D.C. is a giant victory that never has to end, end quote. So wanting to provide that statement for you as we're following your top political headlines. And also I want to flag right there in that quote, President Donald Trump does mention the very latest of Chicago. I want to take you out there and give you a live look here at 10:19 on the East Coast. We also have the latest on X from Mayor Brandon Johnson. That's Chicago's mayor. It says, quote, we can't perfectly predict how an erratic and impulsive administration will act. So I am signing an executive order that directs all of our city's departments to protect Chicagoans and not collaborate with federal overreach.